Hey guys, this is gonna just be a quick little one on my EAD10. So I mount it differently. I don't mount it from the bass drum front or back, because you can kind of technically do either. One kind of gives you like a feed that's more focused on the full band sound, the stage sound. One's more kind of on the drums, and get a little bit of distance from the drums if you're on the front. But so how I mount it is that, one, I don't use the click trigger. I don't use the trigger. I don't say click. The clickety clack of the trigger. I don't use that. I just use the B side, right? And I know people have like given shit about, you know, getting a new cable and better and everything. I've never really had any issues. I don't use the EAD10 for like my only source of audio. I feel like if you do that, then you could upgrade those. Would probably be helpful or whatever. But like, it's just for an overall sound. So what I do is I cut off the bottom of the microphone stand, right? Put the microphone stand into this cymbal stand, right? So it's nice and stable, got good weight to it and everything. And then it runs up here and out this microphone, right? Now the cool thing about this is that you can kind of position this anywhere. It's like sometimes I've got this all the way telescope down and it's just like sitting like right here off to the side, and it's kind of pointed at the hi-hats and the snare. Because the band I play with, like, that's all he really wants. We do a lot of like just like little hi-hat stuff, so he wants to make sure he's there for being able to hear that for time, because he's on straight in-ears, and he doesn't care so much about, you know, crashes and the floor tom or whatever over here and stuff. So going back to following this back up, right, is you can have this here mounted over, you know, and you can kind of rotate this. So if you do run it like middle, if you don't extend all the way up with the microphone stand to get it flat, you will get a little bit of an angle, you know, like kind of see how that's slightly tilted, right? Kind of slightly tilted a little more away from the hi-hat and kind of more towards like the ride and floor tom, which honestly I've done before and has been a really good soundscape of you know, the right side, while the left side is loud enough to like it gets transferred over there. And it actually balances really well. But what makes all of this possible, right, with this here is just, it's this microphone clip right here, right? And it just clamps on this lip where, you know, usually would kind of like sit underneath the bass drum. So if let's see if I can take this off with one hand. Probably not. Here. Wah. There you go. Right, so that's just that microphone stand clip for like the wireless mics, and when you need them bigger and everything, a couple bucks or whatever, and you just slip that right in there and it just clamps right onto it, right? So again, you're just taking this bottom part and you're just clamping this bottom part onto it, right? And it's just getting clamped in there, right? This part slides right in there, boom, and you're good to go. So that's kind of how I use the EAD10 and how I use it for like an overhead, because that's all it is originally, right? It's just it's an XY set of overhead mics in the grill, right? So if it's over, it's going to just give you a simple overhead picture. So some people are like, oh well, you should run it mono, you shouldn't run it mono, you should run it stereo and everything and all that stuff. And again, that's another video another time. But that setup works really well for me. I've also seen people put gaff tape over the top of this to kind of try to help with the bleed if it's down there mounted to the bass drum. I've tried it, it does work, but because I don't use it for the kick and the trigger, I don't see a need for it to be on there. So I much prefer having it as set up as the overheads that, you know, they kind of are and everything. I find it that way way better and way more beneficial, I guess. And this setup is like super easy, you know, super easy setup. And I can get into the rest of the stuff if you guys want a video on that. I'm trying to just like make helpful videos. I'm not trying to do a bunch of production and cuts and angles and blah blah blah. But again, I want to be helpful videos. So like if this is too much camera movement and things are too low grade quality, if the production's not good enough or whatever, and it impedes the helpfulness of the video, then let me know, and I'll do like a real nice, a much nicer setup video and everything. So hope that helps. Later.